Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions live stream. I'm your host, Matt Batiri, here with you today on this rainy day on the Gold Coast in Australia. But without further ado, I want to talk to you about the upcoming bull market. And do you know why I know that the bull market that's about to occur is probably going to be the biggest ever? Is because I've already got friends and family reaching out to me that I must have heard from a Uber driver or the hairdresser to start buying some altcoins. So people are starting to get recognized. I feel the retail capital will be coming into the market probably early next year, getting ready for that hyper cycle that we tend to see in the crypto market. So for those of you who are new to the crypto market or want to learn more about what's going on in the world global economically and why you should be investing in digital assets, I want to invite you to the last Future of Money event we are running this year. That's right, it is this Thursday at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So that's Sydney time for anyone that does not know AEDT. And you can register using the website right below that's going across your screen at the bottom, breakoutnow.co/FOM-YT. Come over to the page, come learn a little bit about Michael, what Michael's talking about. He's also being accompanied by another amazing speaker called Wasim. Wasim will also be diving deep into what the current wars, what these mean for not only the people in those countries, but how digital assets is also the ability for these people to travel with their wealth cross-border whilst they're leaving their homes, their banks, and their money where they are. So come along to the event. It's an amazing event, and you'll get a lot out of it. But without further ado, we are here now to talk about Bitcoin's return and what we can possibly see with Bitcoin and altcoins in December of this year. So December is only about 10 days away. And I wanted to bring you down here to coinglass.com, and we can look at the December returns every single year that crypto has been around. So by just looking at this obviously chart, we can see that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negative months, and we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 positive months. Okay, so basically what we can tell from this is maybe there's a 60% chance that Bitcoin's going to go down and a 40% chance of Bitcoin going up. That's just the broad overview. But one thing that you really want to sort of maybe look at is the quarterly returns. Okay, the quarterly returns over the last, well, let's say the last 10 years, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 positive quarters, and we've had 7, including that one, and 1, 2, 3, 4 losing quarters. So then the ratio is swapped: 60% positive, 40% negative. Now, we've had an amazing October and a really good start to November, but can this momentum obviously continue? And that's what we're going to look in the charts today. So right now, Bitcoin has been remaining solid at the sort of $37,000 price range, okay, which is obviously really, really good. One thing, let me just remove a lot of these lines because I don't want to confuse all of you guys with all my trading lines. But what we can basically see is Bitcoin did break out from this sideways consolidation that we had here for a few months. But what we failed to do is we failed to sort of come back down and retest this major resistance that held us down for all that time. So that is one area that I am really looking forward to Bitcoin hopefully revisiting as being the last buy the dip scenario between now and the Bitcoin halving, which is in April next year. So the question is now, is Bitcoin going to at least push up to, hold on, let me just double check. I'm on the log scale. No, I'm not on the log scale. There we are. Is Bitcoin going to at least get to the golden pocket or possibly the 786 Fibonacci retracement and then pull back? Or are we going to pull back from here? All I can tell you is I do have a lot of orders around about the $29,000 to $31,000 mark as my last dip scenario for Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin does obviously return to these levels, you can imagine that most altcoins will probably follow Bitcoin, but the Bitcoin dominance is at also a very interesting and critical zone. You can see that we've been respecting this trend line for quite some time. And even though my earliest prediction was that Bitcoin would possibly get to this golden pocket. This golden pocket does align very well with this trend line that I have all the way back here in 2017 to the 2021 bull market to where we are today. So what I would assume that's going to happen, the same thing that happened here, is once we hit either that trend line or that golden pocket, we're then going to start seeing a lot more liquidity come into the altcoins and therefore give those altcoins a really good rally. We've already seen a fantastic rally for the majority of altcoins, namely Rune, Solana this year has done well, Injective Protocol, Rollbit, some of these newer tokens that haven't been around for quite as long as Bitcoin and Ethereum have actually done really, really well. So the narrative is out there that, you know, we know what type of tokens are sort of going to start making a run for the upcoming bull market. And it's essential that you start diversifying in some of the sub protocols available on these different types of blockchains, so you can obviously start making some really good money. So I'm watching closely this trend line, this diagonal sort of trend line right here. And once we see Bitcoin dominance break this, I will basically heavily go into some altcoins to see the best return on my investment capital that I put into the market. Next, I also want to show you guys that the next resistance for the total crypto market cap is around about $1.51 trillion. And you can see that we're currently at 1.38 trillion. I would like us to have one more push up to this level, and this could be the last push that Bitcoin needs to get at least to a $41,000 to maybe $50,000 before we do have a pullback to retest this area that we did come back, that we did find as resistance and support back in 2021 as support, and most recently in 2023 as resistance a couple of times. So for me, I would like to see this push up first before coming back down. I think that Bitcoin does look a little bit more bullish than bearish right now, even though we're overextended by quite some margin. A couple of my indicators are showing me that we possibly should get one more push up and then have that 2 to 3 extended retracement right before the halving, before we then start seeing those huge runs in the market. Now, in regards to the short term, what am I looking for short term? Well, over the weekend, we did create this CME gap right here. So I do feel that price action does need to come back down between 37,000 and 36,600. Hopefully in the next 24 to 48 hours, fill this gap up right here. So this would be a buy the dip opportunity for me before we continue upwards and onwards. What we could possibly see with the crypto price is a swing failure pattern. And now a swing failure pattern is where Bitcoin does attempt to break out, creates a lot of liquidity in the market, and then we end up having a harsh rejection, kind of like what we did here, but we never actually create a swing failure pattern because we never went above this high right here. So what I am looking for is for price action to maybe hover around here, try and break this $38,107 level. If we cannot stay above that level for more than a couple of minutes, we will probably end up getting that rejection. And then you can clearly see that we're in this ascending broadening wedge, okay, which usually can break either ways. I'm not going to give you statistics on up or down, but we know, my targets to the downside, which is around about $31,000 to $29,000, and to the upside, short-term target is the top of the golden pocket and possibly the 786 at $50,000. So with that being said, guys, I believe that I'm more bullish, even though, yes, we are still overextended. I've got a couple of secret indicators that tell me that we're probably still going to push a little bit higher, purely for the fact that, yes, even though we are overextended, we should have a pullback. This is where right now, I think along with the ETF news that everyone seems to think that it's imminently going to come out, I feel that the Bitcoin price action and some of my secret indicators are pointing to a little bit more upside before a heavier and longer retracement over a couple of months. So there's still some fantastic opportunity in altcoins out there. Let me just name a couple that I feel like are still at a good value right now. Immutable X. This is definitely one that has just broken out from its downtrend for quite some time. Let me just put the weekly scale in like so. You can see that it's just recently broken out. You can basically factor in that this token should maybe at least get to its golden pocket, which is from current price about just over a 3x return. The next one I'm looking at is THETA. THETA also has just recently broken out from its long-term downtrend from current price to the golden pocket, where I feel like we'll get a fair bit of a sell wall, is 4.5x return. I wouldn't be touching Rune. You can see that Rune's obviously had a really good run, has hit its golden pocket, and now finding that resistance. This is why I'm telling you a little bit about some altcoins that have just broken out, okay, like they're at this stage, but I feel like they will eventually get to their golden pocket where it'll be a good chance to obviously take some profits out. AVAX has been on a fantastic run, but you can see that still can at least double its current price to reach that golden pocket of around $50. Cake is another sleeper that I think a lot of people, you can actually get some really good returns. If you kind of look at this, you're looking at nearly a 5x return from current price to getting to that golden pocket. And if it does return back to its previous high, you're looking at about an 18x, which is a pretty good return on an altcoin, especially an established altcoin that's been around for more than one market cycle. One last one that has broken out that I'd like to let you guys know about is Tezos. Now, Tezos is a huge advertiser for Formula One. They do a lot of, sports advertising. I think they even, I think they might even be part of the UFC as well. I could be wrong on that, but I know that they're part of Formula One. You can see currently Tezos at 85 cents with the potential at least getting to $3.29. For those of you wondering why I'm saying that some of these altcoins, why I would be taking profit around the golden pocket for some of these altcoins, the reason being is if you go to CoinMarketCap and you hover around the if you hover over cryptocurrencies and you go to historical snapshots, you can look at any of their dates here, right? And let's just go to August, and you can see the top tokens from August 4th, 2013. Now, something that you realize if you do use this statistical or if you look at this previous data analysis is you'll see that the majority of the tokens in the top 20 are either no longer around or are no longer the same value than they previously were. The only three that you could recognize right now is probably Bitcoin, Litecoin, and XRP that are still obviously in the top 20. I'm not too sure about Litecoin. But as you go along every couple of years, let's just go 2015 February, we now can see Bitcoin, XRP, Litecoin, Stellar, that's still around, Dogecoin, et cetera, et cetera. But what you'll tend to see is most altcoins never outdo its previous all-time high. Only very good tokens like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, will continuously produce all-time highs every cycle. A poor performing altcoin won't even reach its previous all-time high. Something like Litecoin has always struggled to make higher highs. If we look at the history of Litecoin, okay, so we had obviously the 2014 bull market. It outdid itself. The most recent one, it only barely just outdid itself from its previous cycle, so it's not really a token that I'm really that interested in, something that just does a little bit better. I want to see maximum growth, something like Bitcoin, something like Ethereum always outdoing itself. So if I go back here, you can see that a lot of these Dash has been around for a while. So let's have a quick look at Dash, just so you can see. So this is what I'm expecting for the majority of altcoins. They had a really good initial start when they first came out to the first bull market that they were part of, did really well. And then the secondary bull market like Dash didn't do so well. So this is not really the type of token that I'd be interested in. So we can see the Dash got all the way up to 1,450 and then barely got to $408. So let me bring up Dash on trading chart to see where it got to in regards to a Fibonacci retracement. So we'll go, is that it there? I'd like to see Dash. I need Dash, but where can I find Dash that has maybe a larger price history? No, that's not large price history. USD, let's have a look. This could be it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this was the all-time high back in 2017. So I'm going to pull a fib from here to there, because this was like the low in 2020. Oh, I did. Okay, we can see that Dash went from the all-time high to the low back up to the golden pocket, which is what I just mentioned, and then obviously has retraced even further. This is not really the type of token that I want to invest in, but at the end of the day, it's going to be very difficult to determine which tokens in the current top 20 are actually going to outperform their previous all-time highs. So that's why I recently communicated with my clients with some of our investments, even our blue chip tokens, that the 618 is going to be a very important take profit zone for a lot of altcoins, purely for the fact that we could have many repeat what Dash has repeated. This is why it's important to be accumulating altcoins at the bottom, taking profits early and reinvesting it into the hardest asset, which is obviously Bitcoin. Not financial advice, just what I do. So guys, I hope that today's video enlightened you a little bit about when you should be taking profits on your altcoins in this upcoming bull market, how you can obviously look at previous historical snapshots and data of the top X amount of coins. Let's go 2017 February is the last one. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, Monero still around. Dash is there. NEM's still around, but you can see that a lot of these tokens are still not performing as well. Dogecoin is probably the only one, just due to the Elon Musk fact, that has outperformed each of its previous bull markets. If we quickly look at Dogecoin, you can see a very tiny 2017 run. It got to 1 and a bit cents, and then obviously we had the Elon Musk pump that brought it all the way up to 60 cents, and now currently finding a floor at 8 cents. This is what I would consider a very good speculative investment, purely for the fact that how it's wrapped around the Twitter or now X ecosystem due to the Elon Musk factor. So it's always good to have maybe a little bit of a bag of Dogecoin, especially if it's going to be the native currency of the X platform sometime in the future. Guys, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and I will see you guys next Monday for my next technical analysis video. Peace out.